Good morning, ninth graders, or good afternoon. Today we're going to continue the last part of our passive voice lesson, which is the past perfect. I really hope you studied the previous parts because it's going to be really hard for you to continue if you didn't. Okay, so the past perfect. We use the same technique with all of our tenses, especially with the passive voice, which is finding the subject, bringing the subject to the front, and memorizing the rest of the rule. Okay? So, past perfect. Sally had driven the car. Just a reminder that the only difference between past perfect and present perfect is that in the past we use had, in the present we use have or has. So Sally had driven the car. The tense is subject plus had plus verb 3 plus object. How do we do it? We move our object to the front. Had, been, verb 3, and of course by subject is optional. So in this sentence, find me the subject. The object is the car. We bring the car to the front. Then we follow the rule. We add had, been, and verb 3 from driven is also driven. The last optional part, of course, is by Sally, by object. All you have to do is when I bring you an active sentence, you should ask yourself, what tense is this? For example, this tense is past perfect. Step 2, you find your object. What do you do to your object? You bring your object to the front. Then you ask yourself, in the passive voice past perfect rule, what is the form? You copy the form, which is had, been. Driven, verb 3. You have to memorize verb 3s of all verbs, of course. And then you add the by subject, depending on whether it's important to the sentence or not. Okay. This is the passive voice. I'm going to be posting a worksheet for you that has all of this written on. Please feel free to use it if you want to. The last part is the future with will. Same concept, extremely easy. Future with will. So, Kate will drive the car. Form is subject, will, verb 1, object. Subject, will, verb 1, object. What do we do? Where is our object? We bring our object to the front. Then we add will, be, verb 3. So, where is our object? Object to the front. Then we add will, be, verb 3. Then the last optional part, by subject, by Sally. Very easy. All you have to do is to figure out what tense is your active sentence. Okay? Again, what do? We ask ourselves, what is the tense of the sentence? Assuming that you don't know that it's future with will. So it's a future tense with will. What do? We find our object. We bring our object to the front, and then will be verb 3. So the car will be driven. The optional part is by Sally. Very easy. I really hope you study these tenses and memorize them by heart, because the passive voice is very complicated and it's going to stick around until you reach توجيهي. It's very important in the توجيهي. So this is the future with will. Of course, the negative we use not. The question we ask with will, or we ask with the WH question, but it's not our concern now. Please I'm not going to give you a homework. We're going to solve the questions together because you have exams, but I need you to study the passive voice very well. There is not going to be a lesson tomorrow, so I really hope you study it tomorrow. On Wednesday, though, we are going to solve exercises about the passive voice. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you on Wednesday.